the second annual time we've celebrated Milton Friedman's birthday here in Hawaii. July 31st last year, many of you attended our successful event here at the same location, and we're so glad to have many of you back and to have so many new faces in the room as well. I'm Jamie Story. I'm the relatively new president of the Grassroot Institute of Hawaii, and before we get too far along, I know some of you are still eating, some of you finished, but we're going to retroactively bless the food. And Dick Rowland is going to give the invocation. President Emeritus of the Grassroot Institute.
I am guilty of practicing ministry without a license. We have two ministers in the audience. Would you raise your hands, please? Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to make a feeble attempt at this. So if you would bow your heads in prayer. This is in honor of Milton Friedman, the small business person's prayer. Dear God, may each of us, with the help of a just and loving God, arrange our life and thoughts so that we have the following: enough happiness to keep us sweet, enough trials to keep us strong, enough sorrow to keep us human, enough failure to keep us humble, enough success to keep us eager, enough friends and family to give us comfort, enough faith to give us courage to discover more and better ways to serve our customers, enough wealth to help each of us achieve our lifetime callings and to lend a helping hand to those who have stumbled along the way. Enough determination, toughness, and strength for each of us to make each of our days a good day as we govern ourselves. And enough tolerance and understanding to avoid the temptation to govern others as we lead by example with the resolve that comes from within each of us. Amen.
Amen.
Before we get further started with the program, I want to take a few moments to recognize the people who have made this possible. Our major co-sponsors were, of course, the Milton Friedman Foundation, the Research Institute of Hawaii, which Andy Blum is here representing with his wife Georgia and daughter Nasia. Also, our other major co-sponsor, this would not have been possible without the support of the Federalist Society State Chapter, and I believe Steve Jacobson is here. I also like to recognize our table sponsors, Gloria Yao, Cliff Slater, Dale Evans, Bill and Sandra Burgess, and Jim Browning. Thank you so much for your support. Cliff and Dale are also board members of the Grassroot Institute of Hawaii. We have several legislators in attendance. We have Senators Suzanne Chun Oakland, Senator Willis Sparrow, Senator Norman Sakamoto, and Senator Sam Sloan, who signed the Taxpayer Protection Pledge. Several state representatives also in the House. We have Speaker of the House, Calvin Say, Representative Barbara Morimoto, Representative Corinne, I don't think Corinne, she hasn't arrived yet, has she? I'm sorry. And Representative Faye Hanahano, and Representative Jean Ward, and that she signed the Taxpayer Protection Pledge, and one of her staff members, Roosevelt Freeman, is here representing her. And then finally, we got lots of VIPs in the room. We have Peter Carlisle, the prosecutor of the City and County of Honolulu. Former U.S. Representative Ed Case. Former Hawaii Attorney General Mike Lilly. Former U.S. Attorney for Hawaii Dan Bent. Former Mayor who came all the way from Maui, Alan Arakawa. And we have two candidates that I know of. Thomas Providoros, candidate for Honolulu Mayor. And Richard Foley, who's running in Senate District 23 against incumbent Clayton Key. In February, the Grassroot Institute of Hawaii sponsored Matthew's attendance at the Young American Freedom Foundation's conference at the Reagan Ranch. In May, Matthew placed second in the state debate championship, which enabled him to go on to compete at the national debate championship in Alabama. So I present to you Matthew Tenoy.
He once wrote that if you put the federal government in charge of the Sahara Desert, in 5 years there would be a shortage of sand. A brilliant economist, Milton Friedman, will forever be remembered as one of the greatest of the 20th century American thinkers, and a staunch public advocate for limited government and its profound benefits for society. Today marks, as mentioned, what would have been his 96th birthday. For this reason, I am honored to stand here today to share a little bit of Milton Friedman, who he was and what he stood for, and about how the Grassroots Institute of Hawaii is working to pass along conservative thoughts and ideas to younger high school students, to the next generation, to people like me.
She's a member of the United States Commission on Civil Rights and a professor of law at the University of San Diego. Of most interest to many people in this room, she has written extensively on the implications of the ACACA bill and how that relates to civil rights. Please give a very warm welcome to Gail Harriet, our keynote speaker.
And that is comparable worth. A system under which government bureaucrats, rather than the market, would set salaries. Someone in a little cubicle somewhere at the Department of Labor would decide whether or not a job as a secretary should be entitled to the same pay as a truck driver, let's say, or a construction worker. This is about as far from Milton Friedman and the free market as you can get, ladies and gentlemen. This is something that we need to take very seriously. Here I feel confident that I know exactly what Milton Friedman would say. Comparable worth? I thought I put the last nail in the coffin of that idea back in 1980. Because he did. I thought, anyway. Milton Friedman and other advocates of the free market pretty much put this idea to bed in about 1980. In fact, it's one of the reasons that Ronald Reagan was elected in 1980, since this was something that the Carter administration was giving serious consideration to. Milton Friedman will be saying, "Are you kidding? Is this idea actually back?" And I have to say, sorry, Milton. Alas, it's back. Happy birthday, Milton Friedman. We wish you were still here with us. But every generation has got to find freedom for itself. It's our turn now. Thanks, Milton. We'll carry on from here.
All right.
And thanks, Sarah. And thank you.